What is IDMP? Hear from an expert, Christian Hay.
IDMP is simple. Louis said it's simple. You see, here we have a wedding cake. We have 5 international standards. Each of these, not silo, but it's for the purpose of the wedding cake. These elements are fitting in each other, and they have, many of them, a technical specification to provide is about ontology, not the ontology itself, that's Pistoia Alliance, but the framework and the guidance to establish an ontology. We have a core vocabulary to avoid repetition of terminologies across the standards, with the risk that along the revision processes, the terminology is changing in one of the standard, and then moving to the components of IDMP. Selected as a convener, chair of this group. As a lawyer, I needed a tool to explain IDMP in a simple way. So we developed together in Work Group 6 this, what we name now a wedding cake. And I'm going to give you some information about the elements of this wedding cake. The first of these elements is standards 11238. It's about substances. The full text of the full title of that standard is very long, but if I say substances, I said already the most, because it is something which is used by the group of Pistoia Alliance we spoke about, and we are going to speak after also about GSOS. But the standard alone, which was published first in 2012, was not sufficient. So we decided in 2016 to develop one technical specification, 19844. And last year we noted that 19844 was over 1,000 pages and a bit complicated to handle for the user. So we decided to split that in smaller pieces. That's the reason why you have the -X. Now we are working on -1 and -2, but there will be, I think, 9 subdivisions for this technical specification, each being very specific on chemicals, on vaccine, on homeopathy, etc. This is the route of administration. Every country, every jurisdiction has a mean to say, this is an injectable, this is a pill, a coated tablet, this is something or something. The committee, we decided that we should converge our efforts to one single way of defining the dose forms, the route of administration and packaging as well, but that was simpler. But the dose form is the most complicated, I think. And for that, the committee decided to make use of EDQM. That's a division of the Council of Europe, which has developed a system with all the dosage form in many, many languages. This has been revised not long ago and is, I would say today, stable. The idea is that existing dose forms can be linked to that central reference to diminish the discrepancy between that's also something which seems very easy to start with. A gram, a milligram, a kilometer, a centimeter, but actually in the healthcare industry we know that's much more complicated. The tool developed quite a while ago by the Registry Institute in the US, named UCUM, is in the core of this standard. It doesn't have any implementation guide because the tool is clear enough. We are possibly going to revise this standard to be more accurate. It hasn't been revised since 2012, but it meets really the needs of the pharmaceutical industry. The pharmaceutical products, when you combine the 3 first elements, you have a kind of a recipe to produce pharmaceutical products. and that pharmaceutical product will be the glue between the different jurisdictions where you find then the medicinal product, which is the green part here. This standard is in revision. We want to make it simpler. We have also, in the meantime, understood that one single place in the world should say the truth about that. And it will be the Uppsala Monitoring Center in Sweden. And they have developed now a lot their system to meet these requirements and to be able to provide the pharmaceutical product identification, in short, PHPID. And here comes the medicinal product. The medicinal product is actually what is on the market. You see there is a box here, and this is what is going to be marketed. When I started to work in the pharma industry, the data about medicinal product, they were centric to the box. Nowadays, the center is not the box, it's the pharmaceutical product actually. And the box, this retail pack, contains a pharmaceutical product here in terms of pills, but it can be many other things, of course. There is a standard also for your reference, a couple of definitions from the standards to facilitate the understanding of our audience after this webinar when they want to go a bit more in detail about this concept. The next slide gives you an idea of the hierarchy of the identifier. Can you turn it? Voila. You see there are relationships between these different identifiers. That is a slide which has been developed with the help of my colleague Jean-Gonzague Fontaine from GSK Vaccine. So you have the pharmaceutical products on the far left, and you see from that the medicinal products, which might have a marketing authorization, but has certainly a packaged medicinal product. Sometimes the marketing authorization is at the level of the packaged medicinal product. And then you have, as a cascade, at the end of the cascade, the barcode data carrier, which enables to scan the product which you have in hand and go up to the pharmaceutical product when it goes about pharmacovigilance with the purpose to document things. The IDMP standards are not standalone. They are not isolated in the healthcare industry. You go on the next slide, you will see just mean to illustrate these interactions. You see on the left of this slide, so ISO TC215, CEN TC251, it's not a mistake, and HL7 below, so the three main standards I mentioned earlier. And then you have in the middle, as an example, CDISC for clinical trials, SNOMED for clinical terminology, GS1 for supply chain activities, and HL7 has, as an extract, you have HL7 version 3, which was I would say, part of the architecture of the early IDMP standard. And now the logo here means fire, because we are moving all that into fire. On the right, you have an idea of the hierarchy and the exchanges. If I start from the bottom, you have the retail pack, and then you go up the level of identification, medicinal product package, the medicinal product, pharmaceutical product, which is a bit above. And for SNOMED, you have the virtual medicinal product, which is not exactly the same as the pharmaceutical product, but has some similarities. So we have so good interaction between that. You go to the next slide, please. As a transition, the next is linking us to a web page, because it's an animated page. I think we should skip the link to the web page. For the user, you have here the journey of this medicinal product. Oh, okay, thank you. And you see on the right some identification here, the pharmaceutical product, and suddenly you have pills appearing where the pharmaceutical product plays a role. If I go in the functions below, let's check adverse event in the middle. From there, yeah, the adverse events, perhaps the green in the middle. And you will how that interacts with the user in the supply chain. So that's procurement, and one level below it will be adverse events, which involves also the consumer or the patient. Okay, let's leave that and come to my conclusion. I'm a bit late, sorry for that. The idea was for me to give you an overview of what IDMP is and how that interacts in a wider landscape.
This was just a glimpse of the conversation. There's so much more to explore. Don't miss out. Join us for the next session in our webinar series on the 24th of June. We'll dive deeper, share more insights. See you there.